Hello there, my very good friends. On today's wrestling news, we've got everything you need to know about a backstage argument at Raw.
WWE are ecstatic with a top act.
An update on delays to Carlito's return.
And why Drew McIntyre is missing Raw next week. I'm Adam Wilborn.
And I'm still madly in anger with you.
And this is the news.
Yeah, never gets respect.
Bit WWE-centric, this news, Andy.
Yeah, we got a little AEW-centric one coming up a bit later on today, and sandwiched in between the two, we have a big Q&A video.
Oh, what a treat.
I mean, people are going to be so sick of us by the end of the day, but hey, listen.
If you like that sort of thing, you want to be notified about it, subscribe and ring the bell, ding ding.
Get
straight out of the gate.
Early. Bang, bang, bang. Let's talk about, speaking of bang, bang, bang.
Oh, yeah.
There wasn't a fight. They didn't brawl.
Brawl out twos happened, guys.
There was a backstage argument at Raw this week.
Yeah, I heard about this.
And it was involving the main event participants, which was the Judgment Day versus Sami, Kevin, and Seth the Chef. They had a bit of an altercation backstage afterwards, and this has been reported on by multiple outlets. There's quite a lot to get through here, so let's do it real quick, or as quick as possible. So Mike Johnson of PW Insider, he broke the story. Several wrestlers in that match were not happy with how it went. Apparently a bunch of spots weren't executed as planned. Some were described as clunky, and a couple of sources have indicated that this was due to the match being changed at the literal last second, and that is an exact quote. One source pointed the blame at one specific wrestler, but they decided not to note that, not to name the person, because the internet would go insane. So you can maybe speculate if you want, I guess. I don't know. Now, the argument broke out after they got back to gorilla position after the match. The participants were frustrated, although there was no danger of the situation escalating physically. This wasn't going to become an all-out brawl type thing, and it fizzled out in the end, although the people involved were not happy. Now, in a separate report, PW Insider notes that someone has written the situation off as a difference of opinion that was made worse by the last-minute changes. In fact, apparently, the reworks to the main event were so last-minute that they happened almost to the second that wrestlers were making their entrances for the match, which is frankly ridiculous. This led to things not quite working out. That source has also played down the significance of the event. Fightful Select have reported that Kevin Owens had a prior engagement and he actually left the building almost as soon as the match was done. It's noted here as well that Seth Rollins is understood to have taken a hard shot in the main event, although the outlet hadn't heard of anything else out of the ordinary. But like PW Insider sources, Fightfuls have referred to the situation as a difference of opinion. So it's not like they've gone in there and punched each other and thrown a door at a dog and someone's been bitten. It's not like Brawl Out. However, it is quite interesting to think about. I think that as wrestlers are entering for the match, that's maybe a bit late to be making changes, right?
Yeah, initially when I first saw this, I assumed it was just timing. So they were told, actually, can you go a bit shorter than you were going to go? And then they're like, right, bollocks, we need to get rid of that spot. And then that won't make sense, actually. But it sounds like, they've been told, actually, no, they're going over for the last second, which is... Yeah, I mean, if we came in here every day and you just said, I'm not going to tell you what news stories I'm doing or you're doing today, we're just going to play it by ear.
Like, go.
Yeah. Don't know what I read on Twitter last night. But I'm conflicted by this because obviously I never want to hear about people rowing, whatever company it is. But I do like the fact that people take passion in their work. They want to go. I will say, I didn't really notice too many major flubs in the main event. It just felt like a bit of a house show main event, if that's fair.
That's the thing. If there were miscommunications and mistimings and errors and stuff, it certainly didn't reflect on TV. It was a good main event. And I wasn't sitting there going, oh, that was wrong or whatever.
Like the finish as well. I thought the finish was good in terms of Finn and Damien, they are on the same page still.
Yeah, that's what they're going with. That's the story. So it's not a huge deal. I think it's just an example of people who put pride in their work and care about what they're doing and are doing well at the moment. Maybe when something doesn't go wrong, you're like, that sucks. I'm kind of frustrated. This is how it's going to manifest. But maybe like half an hour later, you're like, hey, come here, big man. Give us a hug.
Stay mad at Sami Zayn for too long, can you?
You cannot be madly in anger with Sami Zayn for that long.
But then again, the Judgment Day were sent to developmental last night, so, make of that what you will.
Yeah, they were relegated.
Previously advertised for NXT, we'll say that.
No, they were sent down there as punishment.
Meanwhile, whilst they're rowing anyway, WWE are ecstatic with this top act being The Bloodline, of course.
I am shocked by this story, sir.
The Tribal Court segment did 3 million viewers,
Yeah.
like a 0.9 something. We reported yesterday it did a 0.76 in 18 to 49, topping the entire week in terms of TV ratings, which could be the first time that's literally ever happened.
And wrestling is 400 years old.
Yeah,
TV is 500 years old.
WWE Ecstatic reports PW Insider with the Bloodline segment. Apparently, WWE sources comparing it to the This Is Your Life segment between Mick Foley and The Rock, because it went well beyond it. It's a lot of time, but it drew viewers in an amazing way and worked out perfectly. I'm not surprised by this, as you say, whatsoever. There's a story I'm going to report on in our second news video today that sort of corroborates this in terms of just how important this storyline and performers are to WWE right now.
Yeah, no shock here whatsoever, but I think it's nice to be the bearer of good news.
Yes.
Yeah, huge success. The segment was 38 minutes, 37 minutes long or something like that. So they took up
like a short film basically, because it's
trip to the cinema. So they dedicated this to a huge chunk of the show, and it paid off spectacularly in the numbers. The one thing about these segments that I really dislike, right, and it's nothing to do with the segments. It's you log on afterwards, right? And there are people over here who are cinema goated. It's just how younger social media people express themselves.
Yeah, we do,
yeah, 19-year-olds like this guy.
We've got Riz, I do believe.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's the right way to use it.
I don't know what that is. So we're using those terms in really effusive praise. Mm-hmm. And then the people who don't understand that that's just how teenagers talk on social media are no, it wasn't even that good. How could you say it's like cinema? And it's that aspect of it I could kind of do without, but that's on me for logging onto Twitter. Yeah, huge success. This stuff, there's no way in hell anyone can even remotely sit down and say this stuff isn't working for the majority of people. It's really cool to see so many people engaged in a wrestling storyline, because I rewind to 5 years ago.
Oh God.
When WWE was dirt, creatively. And people, you go to shows and people were putting beach balls around, and there was no real alternative. We're in a good place right now, and I'm very happy that the Bloodline story continues to deliver for 3 million people at once. That's crazy.
But do you like it? Let us know in the comments, because it does appear to sometimes divide opinion amongst wrestling fans.
You don't have to like it. That's the thing, but you can't say that it's not successful.
Speaking of cinema, before we move on, are you going Barbie Oppenheimer or Oppenheimer Barbie?
Barbie Oppenheimer, because I'm a downer, so I want to start on a high. We've already booked our tickets. We're going to see a Barbie in the Everyman Cinema.
Oh, what a treat.
If you're not in the UK, it's got sofas and you can get meals delivered. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to go to the most miserable cinema imaginable for Oppenheimer. Gateshead View, what up?
Yes.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, that's a great shout. I mean, it doesn't really matter because the new Mission Impossible's out, and that's the greatest film franchise of all time.
Hey, listen, my friend Mark gave it 5 stars on Letterboxd.
It's a 98% or 99% tomato meter or whatever it is.
He is a harsh taskmaster, so it must be good shouts to Mark.
That, it could be worse. It could be Lord of the Rings. So,
Carlito, let's talk about his return to WWE.
Oh, yeah, that's what we're doing here.
If you recall, last month, PW Insider reported that he was on his way back, and he would be coming back, potentially planned on the Madison Square Garden show.
Of course, yeah.
Which was on Friday, and it didn't happen. However, PW Insider does have an update stating that even though Carlito wasn't at the show and didn't appear backstage, he did travel to the northeast of the US for WWE that weekend. In fact, he was seen catching a flight from Pittsburgh. This is like a football transfer story, this, isn't it? Catching a flight from Pittsburgh because he was just seen there, that's why. Coincidentally, that's where WWE's medical center is.
Oh.
So, 2 and 2 together, all of that. A WWE source has indicated that had the company brought Carlito back on Friday anyway, it would have been swallowed up by the Bloodline stuff.
Yes.
So, I agree. If you had planned him for this show, I think it was probably wise to not do it, because the Bloodline stuff dominated everything. And if Carlito comes back and everyone's just like, oh, you've not hit the mark you want to hit. Obviously, big pop, a Backlash in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
I'm really strangely looking forward to this. I think it's going to be a good time.
And it'll help Americans get their 5 a day. Load of Apple stuff, innit?
But he spits it out is the problem.
Oh, God damn it.
It's like, do you absorb the vitamins while it's in your mouth and then you can just go...
Sucks the vitamins out of it and then goes, right, well, there's no need for the rest of this.
You get the mulch.
Just empty calories now.
Yeah. What's he up to?
I'm excited to see him back. And yeah, you're right. In all the hubbub around Tribal Court, pointless. I still think they should have had LA Knight on that show, but still.
I did enjoy the SmackDown exclusive of him battering Hit Row. Poor Hit Row, what did they do to deserve this?
Yeah.
Poor Top Dollar, he's put in so much work.
Yeah, he does deserve credit for that, but yep, they're not fans of them right now.
No, they're not.
But someone who they are fans is what? Drew McIntyre. He's back, he's found challenging Gunther for the IC title at SummerSlam, but of course, as he mentioned on Raw this week, he's not going to be on Raw next week for quite possibly the best reason ever. He's off filming a new action film titled The Killer's Game, right? Already, you've got my attention. Here we go.
Let's go.
It's going to feature not only him, but Ice Cube and Dave Bautista.
Okay, good.
The plot of the film... Are you sitting down, children? Okay. Batista is a hired assassin who takes out a contract on himself when he learns he's terminally ill. After learning the diagnosis was incorrect, he has to fight to save his life against everyone coming to collect the contract. Well...
That's me, sorry.
Sorry, Barbie and Oppenheimer. But...
Sorry, the bloodline. You've been outdone.
That sounds incredible.
That sounds unreal. Good for Drew getting a big acting role.
Yeah.
Good boy. Good to see him back. Good to see him feuding with Gunther. That match is going to be absurd. But I just want to see that movie now.
Yes. And I'm such a sucker for wrestlers hitting wrestling moves in films.
It's the best.
Like, Roman hits like a spear, I think, in the Hobbs and Shaw thing. And he popped my tits off in the cinema when he did that.
He did a Samoan drop as well.
Yes, he did.
In Samoa.
That was it, because that was a bit I went, Samoan drop in the cinema.
Yeah.
I hope Drew tries to kill people by having knives on his feet as he does a claymore.
A big sword comes out comes out of his leg.
Oh, no, actually, no. Ooh, he's going to cut the top rope, lads. Look out. I'm going to play some...
Angela the Sword. Shouts to Drew. I would watch any movie that Dave Bautista's in.
Yeah.
This sounds like the most... Have you ever seen Den of Thieves before?
No.
Okay, you should. It's great. It's got Gerard Butler.
Yes.
It's got O'Shea Jackson Jr., Ice Cube's son.
Yes.
The legend.
WhatCulture fan, O'Shea Jackson Jr., by the way.
And 50 Cent. What more do you want? Batista, obviously.
I watched that one with Batista at Upton Park. That was goated.
Oh,
Final
what's that
Score.
called? Final Score, yeah. Den of Thieves, legitimate recommendation. It's really good. Gerard Butler rules.
Yeah,
Plane.
Gerard Butler, has he made a bad film? Not that I've seen.
No,
and I've seen Plane.
The Has Fallen series is better than Die Hard.
We are dropping takes today.
It's not, but it's
up there.
Yeah.
Anyway, should we move on to your Twitter questions?
You know, it is better than the Beatles, anyway.
At WhatCulture WWE, if you want to get in touch with us. We also do it on our YouTube community page as well.
Every day.
Yeah, first question today comes from AW Metrics. I don't believe I've asked this one before. Gentlemen and Scholars, writes AW Metrics. With the end of Elevation and Dark plus the addition of Collision, do you think AW is in a better or worse position to bring back the rankings?
Ooh. Both. I think that getting rid of Dark and Elevation does make it a little bit more difficult, because those shows were extremely useful for building up win streaks and like padding records and stuff. And I know people took a pretty cynical view of that, particularly towards the end, but that is quite useful. Sometimes it's nice when someone just like sneaks in and they've somehow won 7 matches in a row, and it's like, oh, I've got to pay attention. Like, I think that was cool. That being said, having free televised shows makes that stuff a lot more visible, so you can do it on actual television, just not to the same scale, because Dark had like 10 matches every week on it. Yeah. So it is a bit more difficult. So I think it probably makes it a bit more difficult than easier. So if it's a scale, right, and this is the scale, it's probably like here. But I would like to see it, because the rankings were really good and really useful.
Yeah,
so,
unsurprisingly, Michael Sidgwick, a huge AEW fan, he wrote a book about it.
Where is it?
Where is it?
It's here somewhere. There it is.
Still available on Amazon. Becoming All Elite, The Rise of AEW. 120,000 passionate and insightful words all about the rise of AEW. I miss the ranking systems. Bring it back. Whether you have to use Collision, Rampage, bloody Ring of Honor for all I care. it was a dumb decision to get rid of them. But I think they're in a more difficult position to do that now because like how many Page get pinned on Rampage as well?
Yeah.
So the very muddy waters.
Tough.
Would you have, it's Coulter Evergarden gives us our next question. Coulter, thanks for the question. Would you have Tony versus Hater at All in London and have Hater win, or would you rather have Outcast versus Originals in a blood and guts match with a returning Hater at All In?
I would rather have the one-on-one match.
Yeah.
We've just because like blood and guts for me should be a bit spaced out. We've got one next week.
Yeah. Stadium Stampede?
Empty Wembley. That would be absurd, but fun. I would like to see the one-to-one match if Jamie's healthy and good to go. She hasn't been backstage in AEW since she got hurt, so that suggests to me that maybe she's got a while longer to go, but I don't actually know. I would rather see the singles match. I think it's purer, and I think it is a better moment if she gets the title back in London rather than her stable winning.
Yeah, I think you're right with that one. I think it makes a lot of sense. And like you say, it's just too close to blood and guts, isn't it? I know it'd still be like a month and a half, but no, you need like a good 6 months break.
I want like a big break.
Yeah,
you're gonna be snookering you tonight. Jim Davidson's a bad dude.
John Virgo's all right, isn't he?
I think so.
I hope so.
Shout out to John Virgo.
Right, final question of the day. Felix Johnson asks, would LA Knight getting the US title...
You're not even saying it now, you're just going...
would LA Knight getting the US title and getting it over, kind of like Gunther, be a solid consolation prize?
Yeah, I think so. They're not entering him into the world title picture at the moment.
No.
He didn't win Money in the Bank, so rather than crowing about that for weeks and weeks and weeks, we just need to accept the decision and move on. I think it would be, I think it would be, sorry. I think Austin Theory's reign has ran its course. And I think
200 odd days, hasn't it?
Yeah, but it doesn't mean anything at all, unfortunately.
He beat John Cena, I'm not sure if he's mentioned that.
I think that it would be a good move, and I think LA Knight would be lots of fun with that belt.
Yeah. I'd love to see that. And they're not going to put him in, like you say, the world title picture between, I'd say, now and the Rumble. Yeah. Minimum. So why not? Rather than having pointless feuds. He survived a feud with Bray Wyatt. What more does he need to do?
Not many people can swim up that creek and come out clean, and he did.
We almost made it.
Oh, I'm really bad for swearing at the moment. I'm sorry, editor.
That's all right. But let us know your thoughts on LA Knight's future and everything we discussed in the comments. Join us for the after news later on today, and check out this video. We'll see you later.
Peace.